sister, Elizabeth Peterson from South Africa. We're contacting her, and she's going to be giving us a report probably next week about, what's taking place in Africa relevant to COVID. I think, it's very interesting because the news in London is reports different things than what we're getting here. And hey, Tony Campbell just came on. That's good. Hey, man. And it's challenging for me because this whole notion of fake news has become, I don't know if it was always fake or in some ways, but I know that the BBC, their reporting procedures and their investigative strategies are far more deep and thorough and substantive. And I'm starting to listen at them more frequently for my news. Now, so it's interesting that we would have to here in Minneapolis or in the Twin Cities log into the BBC to get news. But relevant to what's going on around the world, I think that the BBC is doing a better job of reporting it. So we're going to mention some of that today, but we don't want to stay on it too long because because this too shall pass, and I don't know quite when or how it's going to go down, but things will improve. So I just give me 5 more minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and begin with the acts of faith. Wayne, who else is on? Anybody else we got Eric Washington and his wife are on the phone call, and we're trying to get Calvin Washington from Mississippi on, and all of that good stuff. Tim is on. Tim, so thank you. Tim is on. Tim, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Do you guys hear Tim? Bradley, can you hear Tim? Good. So Tim, I'm so glad you are on, man, because you were just so worried about that you couldn't do it and all this and that. And you're kind of like me in a way with this. I'm kind of a low tech, so to speak, but I got to bump it up.
All right.
And listen, Tim, all right, I can do it. But I'm glad to have you on, and I want to get a report from you, Tim, about what's happening with your health. Not this second, but as we move on, I wanted you to give a shout out about your health condition, and your health is important, and we want to get a report. So give us about 5 more minutes, and then we're going to get started here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Call Chris Burke and Geronimo. They should be on now.
Yeah, Chris just texted me asking for the things I do too. And Geronimo I sent to him yesterday. I got a message from Leah Cooper from Wonderlust Production.
How's she doing?
Good. She says, as we shared the Incarceration Play project, as we've shared, the Incarceration Play project's on hold for a while. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, we're thinking about video-based work we can do, still focusing on illuminating community stories.
Yeah. Hey, Monses, is that your grandbaby? Oh, okay. Well, you know what? They could help us with editing our and I mean, if she's willing, we got a very low budget, but if she could help us, if you guys could put that together and some more people, maybe she could do that in the meantime. You know what I mean? And it fits in also with what you was talking about. Okay, we're just going to open up, and and get started because TX is about to go to sleep there in that big old chair he's in, and put his feet up and whatever, so we're just gonna try to holler at your boy here real quick and can we snap him out of it. But today is April the 7th. Says our greatest problems in life come not so much from the situations we confront as from our doubts about our ability to handle them. Wow. It makes perfectly good sense to get directions when you're traveling to a new place. Culture and heritage are directions that will help you move forward. You have a rich culture and a powerful heritage. Yet, we forget that our ancestors built the world, healed the sick, and educated the ignorant. Why should we forget the African mind, body, and spirits of the past who paved the way into today? We must accept and understand that they didn't do it because they were Africans, but rather they were Africans and they knew how. Wow, that's powerful. Culture is a rock in a hard place, and we know the Africans knew a great deal about rocks. Let us stand on the knowing of our ancestors, remembering the heritage of the people and the traditions of the family and the wisdom and strength they used to make it through in the rough days. I know what the ancestors would do. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because we really need the ancestors on today to help us through some of what we're going through now, right? And the interesting part about it is, in some ways, you've been hearing about medicines, herbal medicines, and other things that would strengthen the immune system, protecting you against, some of the dynamics of the virus that we're facing. And so all of us are culturally rich. We have ancestors whose backs we're standing on. They knew how to heal themselves in those days. The preponderance of this reading is that we know how to heal ourselves in these days, and and that we have to do for ourselves. We know our motto is we are the help that we have been waiting for. Nobody else is coming. And doesn't that seem more true today than it ever has? I mean, the government is not riding in on a horse. Nobody's coming in, with a vaccine. I mean, we need to help ourselves to the best of our ability. And so I just want to send it around a little bit for those people who are already on to reflect on the reading or on how you're doing. And plus, mention if you're working or not. I want to get a sense, Wayne, for who's working and who's laid off. We have about a 60-man roster of all told of pop guys who could be participating. And what we're trying to do is get a sense for who's working and who's laid off. So anybody wants to chime in, please do.
Well, can you hear me?
I hear you fine. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I learned some, you mentioned about health and curing yourself. Well, before Dr. Sheba, went to the afterlife, I learned some things from him about meditating yourself. But first of all, I learned it from my mother. My
Uh-huh.
mother was from Mississippi, and when we was coming up, we didn't see no doctors. She cured us for everything. And lo and behold, I'm self-curing myself for my diabetes. I found a medicine online called Glucose Success. And
Uh-huh.
this medicine has dropped my A1C dramatically
Wow.
amongst my own without
Wow.
what the doctors give me. Because what the doctors give me is not working on my internal blood. It's
Wow.
not curing me. So I
Right.
figured I got some of my own. So, and it's working for the better.
Right.
But
Go ahead.
besides
No.
that, besides that, I'm waiting on my background to come back from. I got an interview about American Life Insurance company. They want me to. The owner interviewed me to sell insurance for him.
Mm. Right.
So I'm waiting and checking my email for them to let me know with my background clear
Right.
until when they take place, I can make a move.
I feel you, and I got some feedback for you, but I'm gonna double back to you in a minute. I'd like to get Wayne. I'd like to get Monsez and Bradley involved, Michael Liddell involved. Um, would you guys chime in?
I only see 3 screens. How many screens you see?
That's three. Uh, Monsez, your mic is on mute.
They're on the phone. Have to do *6 to unlock to unmute.
Michael Liddell, chime in.
Yeah, I've been, healthy as best as I can. As far as work, I am laid off from an anagram, but I've had some other things that I'm taking care of, and we're spinning up. I guess we can talk about that a little later. But I just want to my prayers goes out to all the guys, and I believe in the reading. Actually, there is no help coming there. The government is not coming in to save any of us. They're hunkering down. So the
Right.
best thing we have to do is, save ourselves, and that's number one.
Right.
I'll take that back. Number one is God. God is going to take care of this, for me. And and number two is doing the best that I can and continue to help others through this pandemic. I have some mixed feelings about what's really going on, but
Right.
we'll leave it at that. But
Right. And I'll tell you what, Mike. To that point, I think there are a lot of us that have mixed feelings about what's truly taking place. But for tonight, we're going to hold on, and then maybe next week or the week after, we're going to do our whole group. Will just be about kind of compiling our collective wisdom about what we see, hear, feel, or have read about what is afoot here. You know what I mean? So don't feel bad about that. I got some issues myself, but it's great to see you and to hear you sound vibrant in spite of being laid off. I'm sorry to hear that, but it sounds like you're keeping yourself busy, and I know you got a project in mind. We're going to double back to that toward the end and let you make an announcement in some ways to the fellas. But let's check in with Brad and Monsez to see if we got sound up there.
Yeah, so what I was saying is that our status is the same. We are not working, but we are still employed, and they are compensating us for our regular hours while we are shut down.
Wow. Yeah, that's so beautiful, man. And what about your son and school online and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so my son has to call and check in for schooling right now. I'm not sure if there will be online stuff in his future or not. If he's doing alternative school, but we are going to figure all of that stuff out. He just made the first call Monday. Yes, yesterday.
Okay.
So, and then that's when it's supposed to start because this was his regularly scheduled enrollment date.
Okay. All right. Well, try to stay on top of that the best you can because it's critical getting through because he would be a senior, right?
Right.
And because he's a senior, the issue of whether or not he's going to move on, be actually graduated, or have to come back and repeat something in the summer or whatever else is all of that is at stake. So you have to be as diligent as possible where that's concerned.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And that we had a small talk about that, but we'll have to have a larger discussion about that too. So that can all be
Absolutely.
worked
Let
out.
us know. Let me tell you why I got it. My daughter's a senior as well, and and fortunately, she actually has enough credits as a high school senior to graduate today. But but she has to go through the rigor, and they're have an online deal that all her classes are doing, and it's sophisticated. So see what your school is offering. They have to offer something, Mon says, because otherwise they can't bill the state for education.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
in order for them to actually get paid, they have to give out some education. So don't miss the boat on that. Bradley, what's happening with you?
Well, you got the update about the work.
Right.
We continue to do the maintenance and cleaning on the two buildings where I reside. And in addition to that, I'm actually volunteering on a weekly basis at the food group.
Right. Right. How's that going? Talk about that.
So that way, we I do it on Wednesdays. So tomorrow will be the next day that I do it. And it's an experience. They own Food for Fair also.
Okay.
And we've actually had some conversations that have resulted in potentially doing some collaboration between Bridging and the food group once this is all over.
Brad, you're so good about connecting those dots. You don't even realize, man, that you've got a skill there and you're not afraid to, build a bridge or create a conversation that might help build a bridge. And actually, I think that's really where you're supposed to be operating at, is this kind of executive connector or these kinds of things. But I love that as a partnership. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, we talked about they have a distribution. They distribute to 25 different food shelves in the metro.
Yeah.
And so what we're talking about is actually having them ship us their non-perishables that are packed. And then once we pack a truck, we would include something from the food group at the same time. So we would
Right.
collaborate together on that.
Wow. That's an excellent strategy. And keep us posted on that. And that's an amazing thing. I know there's some people in the neighborhood. When I say neighborhood now, I'm talking about right around here where our office is located. That
Yep.
is that are doing meals, but we don't really know who or where they are, and so we need to know that stuff. And so
Yep.
I'm going to ask Wayne or TL to kind of figure out, where those free meals and stuff is located, so that we at least know how to refer people if that becomes an issue for any of our guys or any of the people our guys know.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because see, when you're dealing with the parole and that kind of thing, staying free has always been our number one uh, focus, and it still is. But with COVID and its presentation, there are a lot of nuances, little things that we didn't think about, like, are you eating?
Yep.
Do you have food at your house or wherever you're staying? You know, Chris Burke has come on, and Chris, I appreciate that. Are you at the house?
No, I'm at Cub Foods right now.
Boy, what you doing at Cub Foods? Boy, didn't I tell you about that? No, just kidding. What's happening over there at Cub?
Nothing much. I'm just here with Geronimo right now.
Well, actually, I sent Duvall over there to get with you guys because he doesn't know how to get online. So, if y'all are done at Cub, why don't you ease back over by the house and see if Duvall's not there?
We just left the house.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And no one was there, so.
Well, actually, Jerry's got a story about his family members. I want him to share it later, not right this second, but about some of his family members in New York. And I want him to share that with the group in a minute. But before we go any further, I want to just talk with you a little bit about your choices. About choices. I just want to share a little bit about choices. And, as we now, most of us are now have more time on our hands than we've had in a while. Even if you're working reduced hours, or if you're not working at all, you find yourself at home more. But I think it's a really good time for us to reflect on our choices. What are the choices that we're making while we're in this condition that will cause us to be better on the other side of the condition whenever it passes, in whatever capacity that it passes in? You know, uh, when you were incarcerated, reflection time was really, really important. And almost everybody, not everybody, but almost everybody came out with an idea about what they might do when they got the opportunity. Well, now is a good time for you to look at that and reflect back to what you said you were going to do and what you're actually doing right now, and see if those two things don't jive or come in line with one another. And if they don't, what is it that you're going to do for yourself that's going to cause your situation to change on the other side of the COVID-20 virus and all of this and all of that? I'll give you a couple of examples of, some of us, this is true about you and doesn't fit everybody, but if the shoe fits, wear it. I could remember going in and out of the prison day in, day out, week in, week out for, many, many years. And I would sometimes come in contact with guys who believed they were supposed to be in the penitentiary.
Bam.
Who just felt like, well, man, man, and I mean, that was the logic. In some ways, when we're living a street life, and many of us, we live street lives, some of it looked different and smelled different to each one of us, but it was still street. And so in the context of the street life that we were living, we really didn't care whether or not we went to the penitentiary or not. Let's just be honest. Because if we did, certainly we would have made some wiser decisions. Our decision-making ability was out of our immediate control. If you believe that, then my preponderance on today is for us to think about the choices that we are making individually for ourselves and collectively for those people who are our loved ones, who are around us, who depend upon us, right? So I have these 4 questions that I just want to put forward and have you to think with me about the answer to those questions. Now, watch this, and I'm not trying to trick you, but the first question is, where are you? Where are you? Now, let me give you an example. Monses has recently got a place in his own name. Well, wow. Your ability, yeah, Tier's in here clapping for that, but your ability to answer the question is a little bit easier because of that, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, Ananiah just came on. Good to see you, son. I miss you, boy. But at the same time, the question of where you are is a critical question. As a matter of fact, it might be one of the greatest questions that you will ever ask yourself. Where am I? And it could be pertaining to your geographical location, but it also could pertain to your emotional quotient, your physical life, your relational life. Where are you with all of these things? Where are you with all of these dynamics of life? Where are you at with your woman? Where are you at with your loved one? Where are you at with your family? Who should you say apologize to that you offended? How do you release yourself from some of the garbage of yesterday? And what do you need to do to constitute the where am I question and cause it to be reality in your right now state of mind? Watch this. Watch this. And I'm just going to give you an example. Because for many of us, we always thought prison was a part of the process. And if you believe that, even for a moment, then you would have to say that your future was predestined. And if it was predestined for you to go to prison, then who predestined it? Right? Who decided ahead of time that Tony Campbell or Ananias Israel or Michael Liddell, who decided, where that Negro's going to prison? Who decided that Brad Ricker was going to prison? If it was predestined. So watch this now. Some of us were believing That prison was just a part of the lick that we were hitting. Whew. Now watch this. I'm gonna give you a little. This is a little story. I won't stay with it long, and it's like a biblical story. That's kind of like my reading. I'm a reader and I read all of that kind of stuff, but I read a lot in the Bible. So there's a story in Samuel uh, about about predestination, and it had to do with David. You remember him, and so David was a young boy, but he had killed Goliath. He had conquered a big problem. Right? People get paid in life for solving other people's problems. What you're getting paid for at Tech Dump right now is that you're solving a problem that somebody else has. If you sell insurance, you're solving a problem that somebody else has. The world is driven by other people's problems. Somebody is going to solve the COVID-19 problem. When they solve that problem, they're going to get paid immensely because finances are generated by individuals who solve other people's problems. Anyway, David had solved Israel's problems by doing away with Goliath, but he made the king of Israel, Saul, made him mad. It offended him. He got jealous. He couldn't take it. The fact that David was a handsome young lad, and the females, and how we get. Saul was getting insecure. I'm gonna wait for all the amens out there. I know you're not
Amen.
insecure or nothing like that, but sometimes people go through periods of insecurity.
Yeah.
And during those periods of insecurity, their behavior is not of the normal substance. It changes and it varies. And this is what we're facing now of people's insecurity. And you have to be aware and thoughtful about other people's insecurities as they're being frightened by the virus, which presents itself as Goliath. Oh, I'm talking good, but you ain't
Preach,
saying
preach, preach, preach.
COVID-19 is acting like a giant. It's going right up in New York. It's going right up in Louisiana and taking people away from there. It's acting like Goliath and daring somebody to come out and solve it. Now watch this. Somebody is going, see, while many of us break and run from it, that makes sense. Somebody is wired to run toward it. Now, right now, we're banking. Watch this, Duval. We're banking on somebody who's not afraid of the virus and runs toward solving it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, while we're waiting on him or her to come to do what they're going to do, we have to be mindful of our families. Well, watch this. Let me go back to the story. Well, in the story, Saul had found out where David and his mighty men were hiding in a village, and they were hiding out. And Saul, this is First Saul chapter 3, something like that. And so Saul gets the information. David's hiding in this particular village. David is frightened now because here comes the king after him. So he gets down on his knees and he prays a prayer to the Lord.
Amen.
And he says, Lord, if will the people of this village turn me and my men over to Saul? And the Lord answers him and says, yes, yes, they will. And he says, well, Lord, if we stay here, will Saul's men come in here and kill me and kill us all? And the Lord said, yes, yes, they will. And so David makes a decision. Say a decision.
Decision.
Yeah. David makes a choice. That's what I want to talk about. Say a choice.
A choice.
Right. So David, based on what the Lord said was going to happen, this is the Lord talking. He makes a decision to move all of his men out to another village in the cover of night. Saul finds out that David has left the town. And when he finds out that information, he doesn't go into the village. He doesn't kill up the people. Watch this. Even though the Lord said it would happen, David made a choice that altered the Lord's word. Watch this. My point. But here's my point. None of us ever had to go to prison.
That's right.
None of us were predestined from birth to end up in prison. But when we were faced with making critical choices that challenged our freedom and everything else that had anything to do with our freedom, we failed to make critical choices.
Yeah.
My hypothesis on tonight is your choices are everything.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
What you choose to put in your body right now is everything. What you
Right.
choose to read is everything. Who you choose to spend your time with is everything. Who you contact and encourage right now is everything.
That's right.
You may have to call Tony. You may have to call your brother. Y'all might not be talking, but you may have to call him. You know, on the strength and just make a choice. What he says or doesn't say is not uh, the point. The point is that you're choosing to communicate with him because it's the right thing for you to do.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Bradley, you may have to continue to make these in order for you to execute these critical relationships that you're working on. You have to make critical choices about what Bradley is going to do. The route of ingestion for you, Bradley, is suspect, and you have to rally yourself up around it and strengthen your choice making decisions so that you can become all that you are supposed to be, not a fraction, not a piece of it. You don't want to get a glimpse of who Brad is, but then you don't get the full picture. Think about when TV was only 12 or 15 inches. Now, wait a minute. Now you got a 65-inch TV, and it looked like the man is getting ready to jump out into your living room.
Right.
Well, what I'm saying to you is that your choices now are so big, and time, say time.
All right.
Time is running out on us in a different kind of way than it ever did. I'm not saying this is the end times. I'm not saying that, this it's all over. We're done here. I'm just saying it feels like to me the time for lagging and playing is over. Whatever that is you're trying to do, you got to be on it. And not just now while you're in this downtime. The downtime is giving you a reflection period to make sure when you come out of this, you are stronger than you were when you went in, and you are ready to face the challenges of the rest of the world. Does that make any sense?
Preach,
Amen.
preach.
Where am I? That's question number one. Question number two is, where do you want to go? Here's Duval on right now. He's a supervisor over there at his job. That's a good thing, but there's something out here down the line that's better. Where do you want to go, Duval, that's better than where you are right now? You're supposed to enjoy the benefits of what you have, but you're also supposed to be preparing yourself to get to the next level. Somebody say the next level.
The next level.
Next level.
Hey, here come my sister done jumped on. My sister, now you wait a minute. You know now the Holy Ghost is operational because my sister done jumped on the screen and she got headphones on and everything.
Yeah.
Now, Now, my sister is more low tech than me, but she done jumped on. Give her a big old round of applause. Yeah, that's nice. Good to see you, sis. And you just came on in time for my 4 questions for us to contemplate tonight. Question number 1 was, where are you? And question number 2 is, where do you want to be? Now, for my sister's right now a resident in a transitional house, right? And the whole house is on lockdown. You can't go out. If you got a job, you can't go out.
Wow.
Wow.
Larry Harris, who just came out 2 weeks ago, is in Damascus Way. Damascus Way is on total lockdown. They don't let you go out to work. If you had a job, they just got you fired because nobody can go out or come in. But for my sister, I want you to keep thinking about who you are, right? And where you want to go. What's the next step for you, sis? Right? Now you got a little car, you got your driver's license. Somebody say credentials.
Credentials.
Now you got your credentials, you got a little car. Now it's time for you to step out into your own place. So everything that you're doing while you're in the halfway house is working yourself toward your next level of where you want to go. You want to have your own place, like Moses already has. You've accomplished that, but what's your next level? Ananiah, you have your own place, but maybe it's time to buy a home. You want to get to your next level. And right now, the market is turned back into a buyer's market because the economy has gone down. The price of houses that was so high is starting to drop, and it's dropping exponentially. If you can maintain a good credit rating, now is a good time to buy property. Either to buy a house for yourself or 2 duplexes inside the urban areas for cash flow properties that you could get at a reasonable price and still stay where you already are. I'm teaching good, but y'all ain't saying nothing.
Absolutely.
That's
I hear
right.
you, Bob. Yeah. I've been
Wa-
doing the research.
Watch this. And so the question, what do you want? What do you want to do is a question you have to ask yourself. Bradley, what do you want to do?
It's a good question.
Mhm.
And that's why I'm asking it, because I want you to contemplate what is it that you want to do with your life. Where do you really want to go? Now, if you're thinking about that, where do you want to do? Matter of fact, I'm going to pause right there because I could stay on that. Um, so let me give you an example. So one of the things that I have wanted to do for a long time is put together a video or um, a little mini movie about pop guys and their successes. And Tier and them guys are always asking me about it, Wayne, and they always asking me about it. And we got an interview here and an interview there. But normally under normal circumstances, I stay too busy to really sit down, or at least I tell myself that, to sit down and focus on creating this video or this testimony that explains our story. And I ought to be able to say, when people ask me, well, what do y'all do? I ought to be able to say, here's the CD. Look at this. I do
Right.
like Tony does. TX, reach in the bag. Yes, look at it, and pull it out and just say, yeah, look here. Check it out and let me know what you think. Give me a call. But yeah, right. Push play. But I haven't been able to accomplish that goal for whatever reason. But just lately, Tier and Wayne have been organizing interviews with pop guys to talk about how POP has impacted your life. And so, if you haven't been contacted, I want y'all to call Tier or call Wayne and set up an interview time where you can either come in here, just 1 or 2 people. So we're doing our distancing and all of that, but where you can give your interpretation of what POP means to you. What has POP meant to you? I have a feeling that that's a story somebody would be interested in, but I have just been too busy trying to hang with y'all to tell it. That's my excuse anyway. And so now with this extra time, I don't have an excuse anymore, Duval. So I need you to contact Wayne or contact Tierra, and we're putting together these little mini videos. He got about 5 or 6 questions. I'm gonna ask him to bring the questions in and read them to you later, so you'll know what the questions are. But we're really trying to get a sense. Do you have them questions, son? And so we're really trying to get a sense for if we've been of value to you, and if we have, capture that somehow on tape. Just the other day, and I'm gonna go to you in a minute. The other day, our good brother Herbert Kelly, the lifer, Herbert switched out and went to Louisiana on the Greyhound bus. And you know, I tell you what, I really didn't want him to go. You know, because I love him and he's been so excellent. Everything he's done since he's came out has just been first class, right? Um, he had paid his rent to move into the pop house, but he was also working on a interstate compact. He had both of those things working at the same time. He never asked me one time, "Pop, I need my money back." You know, give me my money. And the money was right there. He could have always asked that. But I mean, dude wasn't going to ask for his money. I had to send Tierra went back over there to the job because we was doing the interview, and he was so happy about being able to go down south and see his people. He didn't want the money back. Tierra had to stick the money in his pocket. Duval was there, stick the money in the man's pocket. I mean, the excellent brother. And but we got an interview, and you know he's so quiet. Y'all know Herbert. He ain't gonna say but 2 or 3 things about everything. But Tierra did an interview with him, and he called me right after. I could feel the Holy Spirit on Tierra as he was telling me about what Herbert had to say about what Pop meant to him. And hopefully now that he's in Mississippi, he have a smartphone. He couldn't have one here. Louisiana, I'm sorry. We're going to get him.
That's about me, Pop. Go ahead.
That he'll be online next week. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the question is then to you, where do you want to go? Let's just play with that a little bit as a question. You know where you are. Where do you want to go? Somebody jump in.
Well, I can say some. You know, I mean, I got a goal. Still got my goal, and I'm going for it right now. As far as like saying, trying to rent to own my house and stuff like that, and like I said, move up a step. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I appreciate everything you have done for me and everything. And the Pop guy's been there. You know what I'm saying? Even though I've been hard hit, but
right.
You know, you gotta fall before you crawl. You know what I'm saying? So it is again. I mean, I appreciate everything, and I'm not afraid of this old crazy stuff they got going on.
Right.
But I'm being safe for me and my wife. So
yeah,
like I said, I appreciate it. I'm still learning, and I will accept feedback also. You know, and I'm just living life, man, because I know my destination, you know, and I know it's something gonna come good for everything I do, you know. So I'm not gonna give up on self, and it start with myself. So man, I'm just keep on struggling and doing what I need to do.
Let me jump into that. Listen to what Duval is saying. But do you all remember Marcus Glass?
Yes.
And remember, man, Marcus is such a smart brother. His future was bright. He was down on a second-degree murder conviction. It ultimately got, after about 11 or 12 years, it ended up getting overturned and he was released. He got a second chance on life. Here was the question that Marcus should have asked himself. Marcus, where are you? He was in Rush City one day. He was out the next. It was just instantaneous. That's what he wanted. The second question is, where do you want to go now? He started in college. He was doing great there, right? But he wasn't able to manage that, Duval. He wasn't able to
Yeah.
build the support network around him, even though he would float in and out of pop because he knew it was meaningful, but he wouldn't build his anchor there.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are anchored in POP. That's why you're on the line. Some people just flirt with it like a chippy, or every now and then just want a little kiss, this or that. But the truth of the matter is, those people who are in it all the way, I'm talking about all the way in, those people get a benefit from being involved with POP and being involved with each other that is immeasurable.
Mm-hmm.
We have an army of experience that we can share with one another. Watch this. I got a guy, he's a level 3, he's looking for a place. If you know a place for a level 3 guy, call Wayne or call Tierra. See what I mean? Now, I'm talking right now to 20 guys, and a lady. If we know something, say something. We have a network of people that can deliver. Watch
You
this
know,
now. Watch this now.
Shane, I got something to feedback on that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
From when I first started coming to the group, when I acknowledged that the group was somewhat of have a tabooish membership to it. Long time ago, you stated all those that come back stay out, and those
Right.
that don't come back go back. It's tabooish about our group. It's something in that room that's very powerful because every member that I know that stopped coming, their life took a dramatic change. We had
So
hold on. We had a member that nearly lost his life.
absolutely.
That lost his life, man, for one slip.
What was your brother's name?
Decided to get back in the game. The sun is the weed, and life was gone like that. This
You
group
talking
is the
about
most.
Lonzo, man? Little
Yeah,
Lonzo, man.
yeah. I'm talking about Lonzo.
This picture today, Lonzo is gone. Marcus Glass
Yep,
is gone. What's Ronnie Baker? Gone.
yep. You
I
know,
mean, so the questions are critical. Let me ask the next question and then chime in.
yep.
So if you have some sense of where you want to go, why do you want to go to that place? What's the reason? Because your why, say why.
Wise.
Right.
If you know why, it will always drive what you do. I want you to think about that. The people who go to work every day, they know what to do.
Yes.
The people that know why they're doing it are the boss.
The boss. Yeah.
Your why is bigger than your what.
What?
Why
Mm-hmm.
has got to drag what along with it. When you know why I want to reconnect with my children, I want to present a positive image to my son and daughter. That is my
Say
why,
that. Say that.
and
Yeah.
therefore my what gets in line with what my why is.
Yeah.
Right.
Another example, here's Duval. Maybe he has fathered another child.
Woo! Damn.
And look, man, if that is your baby, the baby is so beautiful, right? You want to raise the child if it wasn't yours because the baby's so beautiful, right? But, but,
2012.
but watch this. Why you raise that baby, yours or not, is more important than what y'all was doing at the time.
Great, great, great.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is that child needs love.
Yes.
And in order for that child not to grow up and be angry or grow up and be abused or grow up and get assaulted by somebody else or somebody else who's paying more attention to your child than you are, you have to make sure that you understand what the why is, and that why drives the what. Make sure, find out. Right? Find out what that child is. If the child is not yours, buy a savings bond for $150, $200 and let it sit so that it's worth $1,000 by the time the child gets to be 18, just because you was there. I'm talking too good. Y'all don't want to hear me tonight
Preach,
again.
preach.
The only
Yeah,
real
do.
stuff.
yeah. So look. Duval switched off.
Where you at, Willie? I heard Willie's voice.
Duval, come on back, baby. Come on, hey, Depot, there he is.
Come
Look,
on.
he got that look on his face. There you go. That smile, what I'm looking for. Come on now.
I'm learning how to work this phone.
Good. That's right. That's right. And so
You'll
I'm
be
just
all right.
I'm just opening this thing up for more discussion. Ananiah, what you got?
You know, my son, I talked to him Sunday, and uh, when I called, he was cleaning up,
Uh-huh.
and I hadn't talked to his mom in a little while, right? So I'm talking to him on the telephone, and his mom is like, "Well, who are you talking to?" He's like, "I'm talking to my dad." He was like, "You talking to your dad? How's you talking to your dad?" He said, "My dad got me a telephone because
Right.
I got him a telephone."
Sure.
So I FaceTime him, I talk to him all the time,
Right.
unbeknownst to her. You know,
Oh,
right. They back in Chicago, so you know what I mean? So it's like I have the direct line to him.
right.
Um, and it's like it's like where I am right now is I'm so focused on getting me some property because I want to leave something to my son.
Right.
I want to leave something to the people that I care about.
Mhm.
You know, I also want to try and be an example for like my nephew. You know, just got him a phone too, so I'm keeping in
Sherrod
touch with
just
him.
popped on there. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I'm trying to catch all of the boys, and I got some girls in here too.
Yeah.
You know, so my focus is really about being that example, showing them that hey, okay, I went to prison. That was then. Look at what I am doing, despite the fact that I went to prison.
Right.
Look at my life. I'm making
Amen.
decisions based on reality.
Right.
I'm making decisions based on what I know is the right thing to do. I'm just hoping that the the people who are paying attention are really paying attention.
Right.
I didn't mean to get a little sidetracked, but this is so that was on my mind.
That's right.
Focusing on focusing on getting that property, and you're right, Pop. Those prices are coming down, and
Right.
I just can't meet with anybody right now, so I have to kind of just sit tight. But in the
Yeah.
meantime, I'm just letting my credit score build and build and build and build, and I'm
That's
keeping
good,
my
man.
bills paid. Yeah, so, yeah,
That's good. You not only can you get a good deal, you can get money at a cheap interest rate because this
absolutely.
thing is flipped up. Uh,
And I'm working all day too, and I'm still working because I'm essential. We build the equipment that health industry needs to make their health to make the mask and the ventilators and stuff like that.
man, give him some love, man. That boy
Yeah,
say he's
yeah,
essential.
yeah. And we are working like crazy, man.
I love it. I love it,
Yeah,
man. I love it.
yeah.
And so, Rhea, what you got? Thank you, son.
You welcome, Pop.
We can't hear you. You got your mic on mute. Let's go over to Sherrod. Sherrod, check in. How you doing, man? Your
Turn
mic
your
is
mic
off.
on, Rod.
Still working.
Still working.
Still working. Still doing the thing. Still trying to stay safe. Get together.
I'm gonna leave that one out. Sherrod, so what you working on, man? You got a project or what's happening
I'm in Lakeville.
in
I'm
Lakeville?
doing some new develop. Yeah, I'm doing some developments in Lakeville right now.
Listen to Sherrod. He in Lakeville, y'all.
Yeah.
Give him a hand for the lake. Give him a hand for the Lakeville. we ain't mad at you. Hey
I'm
man,
mad at y'all. I'm mad at y'all.
what's happening?
Y'all the ones staying more safer than me.
I know, man. I know. What's it? But you you out there doing what you need to do, man. And none of us right here want to be off or laid off, or everybody wants to be working. That's one thing about most pop guys are not lazy. Most.
Right.
That's right.
Right. Hey,
Hey, so
Chris
I'm
Owsley,
in
are
that
you still
mode.
there? Owsley, are you on?
Hey,
Yeah,
Pop,
Chris, what's
trying
going
to,
on?
yeah, I'm here.
What's happening?
Not much. Staying out of trouble and trying to get the CDL so I can do my own ball.
So now, how you gonna do the CDL thing? I thought you jumped out the class. You got it down there.
Yeah, I got a program. They say they're gonna pay me at least $500 a week for me to do the courses, and then I'll have to work for them. I got the truck after I graduate in 30 days.
So you already involved, or do you got to wait until the virus stuff?
Gotta wait till the virus stuff is over.
Wow, well that's good though,
Mm.
man. That's good. You keeping hold of that vision that you had here. I really wanted you. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. I really wanted you to get that CDL while you was here, so that when you left with that credential in your back pocket. But you know how you can get a little jumpy, so you jumped up out of here, but now you can still get it, Chris.
Yes, stand on top of it.
Hey, look here. The PO that you used to have, she called me about somebody else she wanted me to help out with, and she said, "Where's Chris? I know he's not with you because he can never be still for too long." And you know what? I didn't answer her, but I wish that she was wrong. But the girl, she had to bend down, brother.
I tried to call her a couple of times too.
Yeah. Well, wait till you get your CDLs or something, and then call it.
Yeah.
Sherrod, let us know if you ever need to hire one of these pop guys, man, that want to go to work.
Immediately.
He immediately said. So your mic is off or something.
I think my mic's say.
Okay, go ahead.
There you go, Rhea. Yeah.
Okay,
We can hear
so
you now, Rhea. Yeah.
you can so my thing, and I'm looking out for I'm looking for eyes is that it's so private. My face is
Sis,
guy
so you're coming in and out. Your mic somehow is breaking up. I don't know if you got to be talking right directly into it or something like that. We hear you, but it's breaking up. So look right wherever your mic is, talk directly into that and see if that doesn't change it. Go ahead. Your mic, not the headphones.
Oh, the mic might be on the headphones.
The mic, yeah, right. Thank you, son.
yeah, I got a gig coming up, dude. I could probably use a person.
Hey, there you go. Oh, there you go. Hey, Owsley, get your butt back up here. No, just kidding. um,
Hey,
so,
hey, the funny thing about talking
who would
about
be
that
good
too.
for Sherrod for
I got this little gig coming up for my landlord at my property.
oh,
He
okay,
wants some painting done at his house because he's trying to sell it. He
okay.
out in Mounds View, so this is like a $25,000 job. So I can definitely probably use some help.
Yeah, well,
I
look,
live in Moundsville.
You do?
That's where I'm at right now in Moundsville.
Oh
look at
yeah?
my brother. He in
Yeah.
Mountain View.
Okay.
So I mean, if is it weekend work during the day?
Well, I got projects going on throughout the week out in Lakeville and out here in Blaine.
Listen
I'm
to
trying to
Sherrod.
fit
I
him
love it,
in.
man.
I'm trying to fit him in real quick. So yeah, probably weekend. But if you can go out there, you know how to paint.
Yeah, man, I'm your house guy. I can do it all: drywall, floors, roofs, paint.
This is
Yeah,
cool. This is cool.
I
See, I'm
I got
telling
my
you,
own tool.
yeah, I'm telling you, man, the y'all is bad, boy. And
Right,
Yeah,
right, Pop?
we definitely,
yeah,
we definitely can keep the pop guys working that want to work. And I want to put out some shirts with this COVID stuff. You know what I'm saying?
so
And try to,
what are you gonna say on them? You know?
you know, my clothing line is circles and squares.
Yeah, right.
So the squares is the COVID, and the circle is your immediate family. So I want to put on there like, keep the, make the squares the COVID, and circles your family.
Wow,
You know,
that's deep.
just like keep
Yeah.
your distance.
And Sherrod, did you and Patrick ever connect on him helping out with the shirts?
He hasn't called me. I mean, I tried to reach out to him, but he ain't answered the call. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Do me a favor. Call Pat Nunn right now. We're gonna have him call you right now. Just hang on for a second. Um, because Pat be wanting to do stuff, but he don't follow up sometimes, and we got to get him to follow up because that's his
Yeah.
thing, man. Ananiah, though, you got Sherrod's number.
No, I don't, but I'll get it from
Sherrod, just say your number. Ananiah, get a pencil. Go ahead.
I'm set.
651
651
497.
497.
No, 497
Yeah, 651 497
9614.
9614. All right.
That's good. That's good work right there.
Yeah.
Um, so Tony, you might be thinking about that if this insurance thing don't come through, man. Maybe you want to do something else. I don't know.
Yep.
You
I
need a.
got a couple of them on the table.
Oh, good, good, good.
I got a couple options on the table. But
I
I
should
said,
have known you had an A and a B plan.
right. You know I get out.
That's good.
Yeah.
And so, Bradley, what about you, man? What are you thinking? What are you feeling over there?
I'm good. I got a plan.
You got a plan?
Why is the legacy that I want to leave to my kids? That's my
Good,
goal.
good. I love that. I love that response, Bradley. It lets me know that you're hearing me clearly, and I
I hear
appreciate
you clearly.
that. Listen to this. Eric Washington, is Eric there? Eric is on
Yeah,
the
I'm
phone.
here. I'm here.
Eric, what's going on with you? Can you do a check-in?
Oh, for sure. I'm sitting up here listening to all the good stuff. Where I'm at, not working just yet. Usually it wouldn't start to the end of the month. We'll see how that turns out.
Right.
But other than that, everything else is pretty good. What I want to do is similar to what you're doing, except on the Fed side.
Meaning what?
Housing. I want to, because I know when I talk and when we're in these doing the committee groups with all the judge and the PO and everything, when we have the whole group, a lot of their struggles is housing because of their felony. And these guys are required to be in a halfway house for like 6 months.
Right.
And then after the halfway house time is up, it's like, I don't know where you're going, but you got to get out of here type deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some of these cats got even a little money because they've been working, but they have a hard time with the housing piece, and which turns out to be a negative. So, I'm that's what I mean by kind of not reinventing the wheel, but copying yours.
Right. Well, and that's man, it's beautiful, man. It's room enough out here. And I'm telling you, the Department of Corrections called me asking me, did I have any availability? So they just wanted to put in, they wanted to put in their guys. But of course, if it's not a pop guy, I'm not taking them. Right.
Right.
Because I've already made commitments to pop guys, and that's how I roll with it. But they, they've never called me, and asked me. I've been at it now 12 years with the house. They never called me once and asked me if I had room for their guys.
Wow.
Wow.
And I could have said, yeah, I need 800 a month. You know what I mean? If it was about the money, but you know what we're trying to do here. I mean, somehow the money is going to find its way to my pocket. I just believe that, but I don't need to be trying
Preach.
to bring just anybody. Our housing is not for just anybody.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really rent to the public per se. You know, I've
Right.
just got pop guys,
That's right.
and you know, our goal. And let me just tell you, man. Just to give you guys a heads up, I had a little situation. One of the guys, he's a pop guy, but he hasn't been connected. He's been doing his own thing. His name is Troy Hallenbach. Y'all know Troy. He was up in Rush. Duval, you know him. And you know he's a piece of work, but he had been doing better. Calmed down, found him a job out where Chris works. Well, he was trying to get a place over north and looked like the place was gonna fall through. He's a level 3. And so what ends up happening is he runs for whatever reason. Well, when he runs, the task force come to Chris's job and interview Chris.
Ah.
Well, you know, Chris is, you know, this Chris, are you online? Okay, so they interview Chris, and Chris has got, you know, anxiety about it as anybody would. The next day, they have agents out at our properties taking pictures of our properties and asking questions about Troy. Now,
Wow.
Troy has never lived at the Pop House. He's not a resident there. You know, it's wrong for them to be getting our neighborhood all fired up. You get what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
this is the kind of a animal that we're dealing with. And so, Eric, these are the kinds of things that come up. What I had to do was email Troy's PO and her supervisor saying, "Why are you at our property looking for him?
Wow.
And you know, why are you harassing our neighborhood? I mean, I get that he is a level 3. That's a heightened sense of alert. I get public safety. I agree with that. But I disagree with you coming over here to our place. He doesn't live here. Right? Our address is on none of his documentation.
Wow.
So, you know, and what I was just trying to do there is respectfully back them away from our place and then what we're trying to do. And so, Eric, to your point, these things come up over time when you're dealing with, you know, an ex-offender population, but you got to be ready just to handle them and then push back.
Right.
Because your population are only ex-offenders. If you stick to that, then you carve out a niche that is not public. It's really private and specific to programming.
Right.
So this is why, like, for instance, if you live in the pop house, but you don't come to group, it won't be long before I put you out.
Okay.
Right.
I don't hear nobody. Somebody ought to be saying something about it.
Amen.
But watch this. I'm not putting you out because I'm angry with you, but I'm saying to you, I know, like Tony said earlier, if you stay in group, you're gonna stay out.
Yep. Preach.
And if you live in the pop house and don't come to group, that means you're not following programming, and therefore you disqualify yourself from residency there.
Come on now.
Right.
Preach.
I'm just sharing with you a little bit.
Come on.
Before we head out, but I want to read to you these questions that Tier and Wayne are going to try to contact you with, and I would like if you guys would think about them. There are 5 questions, and this is like myself and my wife trying to figure out a way to tell our own story with our own people. You know, you are our evidence-based practices.
Right.
You know, other people want to rely on what a psychologist from Chicago said, and I ain't mad at him or her, but that doesn't really produce evidence for us. So we're trying to produce our own documentation, tell our own story, and then share our own narrative. And so here are the 5 questions. Number 1, what was the dynamic inside of prison that attracted you to POP? Number 2, why did you buy into POP versus other programs? Number 3, what made you stay during the POP movement? And we might adjust that question. Number 4, what has POP done to assist you? Number 5 is, where do you think you would be without POP? And just think about them. You don't have to answer none of that stuff now, but Wayne or Pierre's going to be contacting you, trying to set up a time for you to come in quick. It's like 15 or 20 minutes. Sit down, do your interview, and ease back out the door. We like to get as many pop guys on tape as are willing to do it. You got to sign a little thing saying, you know, I give permission to POP to use my image and my information, so forth and so on. That is, we already got about 10 interviews now. I'm looking to get, 30 or 40 interviews, maybe more, and put one together as a short documentary. And then the second one is going to be kind of like telling a longer story, where we're going to have some of the wardens and people that we work with inside talking about, their experience with POP as well. So that's something I'm trying to accomplish during my downtime. And I also have been procrastinating about the book. Thierry has a book. Richard McLemore has a book. Darius is threatening to write a book. Bless his heart. My wife has 3 books. I ought to be able to write a paragraph.
I've been typing away myself.
Tony said he got a book.
I got a book.
Yeah. So I ought to be able to get Michael Liddell, you think I could write a paragraph or 2, you know what I mean? So I'm just up here trying to utilize the time in some ways to get a few of these things accomplished, because let me tell you why. If you understand the 4 kinds of people that can change your life, you understand multiplication. And if you understand multiplication, you see, as I'm getting older, we're all getting older. The truth of the matter is, I want to be able to hand some stuff off and say, now this is how it worked for us. This is what happened with us. Take a look at this, and then you improve on that model. Take it to the next level. But if I don't multiply myself, then it's impossible for people, to take that and run. It says, write down your vision upon tablets and make it plain, so that when they come, they may run with it. Although the vision may tarry for a time, nevertheless, it shall meet its appointed course.
Yeah,
And my goal is to be able to write a book about who we are, what we've done, some of our sons that I'm so proud of. And if you're on here right now, I'm talking about you.
I hear you, Pop.
Yeah, so we've been messing around here for some years.
I'm loving this, Pop.
Yeah. And so listen, I want to go around now and just get some quick feedback on anything that you've heard tonight, anything that you're thinking. I want to go around the horn, make sure everybody has a chance to give us some feedback. Sis, are you on now?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm on. I was just saying that the group me is looking for a woman's point in that came out and successfully made something, makes me proud.
Well, I think she said that, the group makes her proud to be a part of it. And I think that's what she said, but your mic started to break up again. I'm sorry. We're going to have to get your sister over there who's got the techie skills, bring her in and tell her we need some technical assistance. Sherrod, what you got?
Just
Man, it's just getting crazier and crazier every day with the situation that's going on. And
Get Mike off too.
huh?
He
I
got
can
his
hear him.
mic on. Speak up, Sharon.
Did you get it, hold care?
Just trying to make sure that I stay safe and hope everybody else stay safe. And hope that this situation is gonna be dealt with real soon because it's hurting the economy, it's hurting businesses, it's hurting
Right.
small businesses.
That's true, man. Suraj, you right. And I am. There's a part of me that wants this thing to go back to what it was, and there's another part of me that's not so sure. And we got to process that. We'll get into that next week. We're gonna just sit down here and unpack this COVID thing to the best of our ability. I'm going to have Karen from London, and I'm going to have Elizabeth from South Africa. We're going to have them chiming in and then getting some idea about what's happening internationally. And I also want to try to have somebody from Louisiana who's right in the thick of things, kind of telling us what's going on from there, because we can't buy into what the news is saying, right?
That's right. That's
Right.
right.
Well, Pop, I'm in Mississippi. I'm close to New Louisiana.
Yeah, and Cal, it's good to
Yeah.
hear Calvin's voice. Give Calvin a big hand. He's
All
down
right,
there.
Cal. All right, baby.
Yeah. I'm
Hey,
just sitting back. I'm sitting back.
hey, I was just I
listening to everything and knowing that everything y'all saying, man, is enough to keep us growing, and that's what we got to do. We got to feed off of one another, and we got to let this thing know. I have no fear because God is in our heart. The Spirit is in us. The Spirit was in the group there. So we got to feed on knowing that it's a time and a place now that we got to cry out to be able to get what we want.
Right.
So y'all just remember one thing. This the past too.
That's right.
And
Amen.
Cal, that's so powerful, man. And we're proud of you down there. Cal has been struggling a little bit with his legs, but man, we love you, Calvin. And man, that just touches my heart to hear you all the way from Mississippi. And then if you know somebody down there who's struggling, who has been touched by the disease, I want you to see if you can get them online with you so you can give us a report from Mississippi. Can you do it?
Well, yeah. Well, right now, I'm still into my church service and stuff. But for some reason, I was going for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Now we done stopped going to church because this thing done affect Mississippi and Louisiana, and it's affected Georgia too.
Right.
So, this thing is like, it done got way out there where, the only thing we can live for right now is just saying, well, God, thank you for waking us up in the morning. When we make it through that day, we got something else to live for.
Wow,
But
that's
you
good.
brothers, man, y'all remember one thing. We came a long ways, and y'all came a long ways with me to allow me to be able to see that, okay, we are heading in the right direction. We just on pause for right now.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Give Cal some love right there. That's good.
right.
Cal, stay strong.
Hey,
Somebody
hey,
else jump
hey,
in.
Pop.
Go ahead.
Hey, Pop. I definitely wanted. I just wanted to say that I really appreciate what Calvin was saying. Calvin this Patrick.
Hey, Pat.
Hey,
All right,
what's
Pat.
happening? And I'm glad to know that you're all right and that everything is okay. Because this is a worldwide pandemic, and actually Minnesota is something that the news had brought up about how they had disease, the virus just like this back in, I think it was either 1813, about the guy that came from over in the war, and it had came over here, so they had the same situation where they had to do about everything just like how it's going now. And that was, history always repeats itself. And so it's just, if you know your history, then sometimes you can change and alter some things in the future.
Yes.
you know, and it's just something that, you know, we're going to have to be able to take more seriously and look at things from a different point of view.
Yeah.
Because I know when it comes to trying to keep ourselves safe, we have to be smart and, you know, use not only common sense, but logical sense. About, you know, not being around, you know, just out and about with a whole lot of other people. Because the stuff is, you know what I'm saying, it's pretty much, if you're in somebody else's breathing space, then you are liable to, you know, kind of contract something.
Sure. And so, Patrick, speaking of that, now, are you wearing your mask?
Yes, I do have my mask.
Good, because Pat, because of your condition means that you're more so at risk.
Yes,
and so,
I definitely
we want
do.
you to make sure you're taking your own advice and that you're wearing your mask. But Sherrod is on, and I've been trying to get you and Sherrod to connect, and you won't never call Sherrod, but I want you to call him when we get through talking. I want you to call Sherrod tonight and just talk about them T-shirts. That's all I want you to do is just call him and talk about it. Do you have his number, or should I give it to you?
Yeah, I seen a message that just came up when I was trying to log on.
That's right.
And
so we're trying to say oops upside your head and go ahead and get that brother a holler. Somebody say holler. Hey, somebody else jump in, Pat. We're gonna cut you for right now. Thank you, brother. Somebody else jump in.
Okay.
Hey, Shane, this is Tammy.
Oh, the queen done came in.
The queen. Hey.
The queen, look at all them curls she got, man. Give her something. Give the queen a little something for that razzle dazzle. What you got?
Well, God bless everybody, and it's just a blessing. Still, Bill, to be still here in the land of the living. Okay.
Yes.
Amen. Right. So I'm just glad everybody's okay during this pandemic time. It's a challenging time for us all. But, you know, as we keep checking in and we keep holding on and having a vision, write the vision down. You know what's a good idea as well? Write the vision every day. If you write the vision every day, then you're intentional with your vision. And it'll continue, it'll get a stick it to you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just in here and just glad to be with y'all cooking, of course.
Right. Come on, give us some love. Give us some love.
Hey, brother Shane.
That's the queen right there. That's the queen. Give us some love. Give us some love. She's lovely. She got all them curls, and I don't know what to say about all of it. But you know, just keep doing what you're doing. We love you, and we can't wait for us to all be back in the same space.
Amen.
Somebody else jump in.
Amen.
Brother Shane.
Go ahead.
Hey,
My
we're gonna
wife
lose
wanted to say
battery on my phone,
Go
so I'm
ahead.
gonna.
Go ahead. This is Eric Watson, his wife. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Tammy, and I was going to say that even though we're all stuck in our house dealing with the pandemic, the first thing is we shouldn't be fearful. We should be using the time that we have sitting in our houses to come up with ideas, because things are going to change. After this pandemic is over, the world is going to be different. And we need to be individually thinking about ways that we can make a living and take care of ourselves without having to rely upon a job from somebody else. We need to be creating our own job.
Wow.
And I hear a lot of the guys are starting to do that, but that's really important, because right now you've got all this time where you're sitting at home instead of looking at the news and hearing all the doom and gloom. We need to be coming up with ideas on what are we going to do different, and how can we make a living and do things different and create businesses and opportunities for our pop guys, pop sisters, family, friends, and start thinking along those levels, because this is going to change the way the whole dynamic of the world operates. We need to pay attention and watch and be creative, because we're creative people.
Right, that's right. Hey, y'all give Tammy some love right there. And you know, I think that's so powerful to be looking ahead and looking into the crystal ball and seeing what's out there for us. What are the opportunities? Remember, you get paid for solving other people's problems.
That's right. Yeah.
Just think about that. Bradley, what you got?
Hey, we're going to lose my battery here quick, so I just wanted to chime in and say that I heard you loud and clear, and the legacy is my goal. All right.
That's good.
And I also want to say that I'm happy with me.
Bradley, and that makes me happy. Montez, what you got?
Well, just thinking about
Who is that big baby you got in your arm?
where I am and where I want to be. I want to be nurtured. I want to nurture others. I want to listen. I want to be heard. I want things that are mutual. I want to chase, the things that I made important to me, back when I was in that learning laboratory.
Yes, sir.
And so just remembering all the seeds I planted,
Right.
I just want to continue to be that farmer, that put down all of that seed,
That's good.
the fertilizer,
That's good.
not all that.
That's good. Amen. Give him some love right there. That's powerful.
Hey, Kier, we'll see you tomorrow.
I beg pardon?
No, Kier, we're going to meet with Kier tomorrow at 10:30.
Okay, you already got that. Now, Michael has a little project he's working on, and Mike, this is a good time for you to talk a bit about what that project is going to be.
Okay, so as of April 1st, my company, with another partner, have acquired a sober house in Crystal. So we got about 5 guys over there. We're working on building another room and then purchasing more property in about 2 to 3 months. So we are working on kind of some standards for the housing, but my goal is to help solve a problem in our state for housing for felons. So that's what we're working on.
And give him some love. There we go. There we go. That's coming straight out of POP. And Michael, we let us know as you continue to progress. If we can be helpful, we certainly want to be that. All right.
Yep.
Stay well in between that time. Tony, what you got? Get your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Well, I honestly can say for the years that I've been involved, it has done a phenomenal job on my thought process. It has kept me in tune. I've been networking, and I've been on a really good note, a positive note, with myself and where I'm going. And I'm headed for that one solid foundational job and that solid foundational living quarters that I can have amongst my own and be this circle without someone subject to over my head looking at me or subject to this, that's another. It's just too many rules and regulations that my life has been subject to amongst my living quarters. So I gotta solve that problem myself.
You got to solve.
That's one of my goals that I'm working on. I'm dealing with a loan officer by the name of Justin Oliver. So this gentleman got me involved with a program called home partnership. But they got this program where you rent to own. Lo and behold, I've been truly blessed. My credit score went up. It went up. I did a dispute. I challenged some of the credits on my name, and it skyrocketed. One of them is almost at 700. I got a 560, and I got a 505. So that put me eligible to get this 2-bedroom apartment that's sitting waiting on me. But once I show proof of income, I'll be able to get this new place.
Well, man, we pull it for you because this is very important, and we need you to be satisfied and have a roof over your head.
Right.
But now TX been selling them movies since I met him. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. TX, look, I know he sold 100,000 movies. Now, if that boy had, wait a minute, if he just had 50 cents of every movie he sold, the boy would have 50 grand.
Yeah.
I want to share with you, when you're hustling your money on your movies, keep half the money in your pocket and then tuck the other half. Even though, so you just keep working with that half, just spend that half. And at the end of the year, go over there and look at your hustle money. I'm gonna leave you with that. I'm just gonna leave you with that. All right, what you got? Ananiah, what you got?
Oh, I was just thinking, for some reason that Rudyard Kipling, this if came up to me, right?
Yeah.
And I used to read about heart, but I remember this one portion where it says, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust when all men doubt you. I'm sorry, I can't remember it all, but it talks about being a man. It talks about being strong, being resilient, being able to endure the things that are maybe chaotic around you,
Right.
but being able to maintain yourself.
Right.
This is what the power people has done for me.
Wow.
Everything, all of the lessons that were taught, all of the statements that were made, all of the quotes that I copied. I got pages and pages of quotes from you, Pop, that I keep. All right, and it's like,
that's amazing.
It is Pop in this, especially in this time. I think that if I would not have had Pop in my life for these last 18 years, I think.
My God.
Is it 2008? This is when 2008. So it has been 12.
Right.
Last 12 years. I mean, I believe that I was on a track.
Right.
When I found Pop, I was on a good track when I found Pop. It just made it even better when I found Pop.
Sir.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that if I would not have had Pop, if the Power People Leadership Institute was not in my life right now, I think that I may be kind of shaky. You know what I mean?
Right.
I may not. I wouldn't be as solid and secure and sound as I am.
Amen.
Without Pop.
Amen.
Thank you, Pop.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, brother. I'm so proud of you. And you guys, hey, I don't even want to get into all that, but man, that's so beautiful. Sis, is your mic working now? Does it work or what's happening?
Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Okay. What I said was looking through what it's made me proud.
Okay, sis, hold up. So now it just keeps cutting out. You was there for a minute and now you're gone. We're gonna get you next week. But listen to this. We're gonna have to get out of here. Somebody get me the pledge. Come on now. Okay, we'll get it. Okay, so we're gonna pledge out of here. Just get ready. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry I didn't have it sitting right here with next to me. That was nice, Miss Lolita. I don't know if you're still there, but it was so nice of you to get in and just see that smile and just that just was beautiful. I enjoyed it, and everybody who's on. Last week we had 24. The week before that 27. I don't know how many we had tonight, but I'm telling you now, this is our online stuff. Now,
that's right.
Anybody else would be lucky. They'd be glad to have 20 people come to their group. And now we just got 27 on the online. You know what I mean? And we just new to this stuff. And so we're going to pledge out of here. No, we got love. Next week, we're going to talk specifically about COVID-19 and 20 and what's its impact. So how we can be safe. I have learned a few little preventive things. Bless you. That you heard that sneeze and just made me think of that.
Bless you. Yeah.
If you would strengthen your immune system, you can do that by drinking 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. You get that in the drugstore in those little packets. Put it in a cup of tea, just hot water, and just it's got a little flavor to it, but it's got strong, powerful doses of C. C in those strong doses increase the immune system. It doesn't keep you from getting the disease, but it keeps the disease from getting you. So and there's some other things that I've learned about it too. So some preventive and some interventive. We'll share all of that next week, plus our reports from around the world, from our pop sisters around the world to give us updates from South Africa and from London.
Yeah.
And then we'll also have some people right here. So here's our pledge. We're going to get out of here. Please repeat this with me. I will.
I will.
I will.
Balance my family values.
Balance my family values
with my goals.
With my goals.
I will.
I will.
I will.
Exercise wisdom.
Exercise
Exercise
wisdom.
wisdom.
What I choose to eat,
What I
What I
choose
What I
choose to
choose to
eat,
eat,
read,
read
read,
read,
and do.
and do.
and do.
and do.
I will
I
I
I
will
will
strive to make all relationships
strive to
strive
try
make
to
to
make
make
all
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 relationships
relationships
win-win.
Win-win is okay.
win-win.
win-win.
win-win
Win-win.
Or no deal.
I will,
or no
I
deal
I
will
will,
I will.
under every circumstance,
under
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 every
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 circumstance
circumstance.
circumstance,
maintain a positive attitude.
Maintain a
maintain
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 a
a
positive
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 attitude.
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 I will
I
I
I
will
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 I will
enjoy my life
enjoy
enjoy
my
my
enjoy
life
my
life
life.
keep my
enjoy
sense of
Enjoy.
humor
with a sense of
with
humor
my
by taking advantage of opportunities
by
while
taking
by
Taking
advantage of
advantage of
taking
opportunities
advantage of
learning
opportunities.
from my
opportunities
misfortune.
and
and
learning from
learning
my
Learning
from my
from
misfortune.
my
misfortune.
misfortune.
I will
I
I
I
I
will
will,
will.
I
act
will
upon circumstances
act
under
upon
every
Under any
circumstances
circumstance,
circumstance.
rather than have them act upon me.
rather than
rather than
have
have
them
them
act
act
upon
upon
me.
Rather
me.
than
I
have them
will
act upon me.
I
I
will
I
will.
will,
on a daily basis
on a
on a
On
daily
a
daily
daily
basis
basis,
basis.
Learn
be
to make
proactive
do.
with my goals.
be
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 proactive with my
proactive
proactive with
with
goals.
my
my
goals.
goals.
I will
I
I
I
will
will
will.
I will.
I
always protect
will
my wisdom
Protect my
and
wisdom
my
Wisdom
exercise with
health
wisdom
and my happiness.
and
and
my
my
and my
happiness.
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 I will
I
I
I
I
will
will
will.
will
stay principle centered
stay
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 principle
principle
centered,
principle
centered
centered.
and maintain a positive circle of influence.
and
maintain a
Maintain
maintain
a
a
positive circle
positive
of
positive
circle
influence.
of
circle of
influence.
I
influence.
will
I
I
I
I
will
will.
will
will
daily learn,
daily
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 learn,
learn.
commit.
Commit.
commit,
Commit
commit
And do.
I
and do.
will
and
I will
I will.
act according to the POP Leadership Institute
back according
Act
to the
according to the
POP
the
POP
Institute,
POP
and be productive in my community
and be
Be
productive in
my
my
community
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 and my private life.
and my
and
and my
private
my
life.
private life.
life.
Float like a butterfly,
Float like a butterfly
sting like a bee.
and sting like a bee.
All right. All right. I love you. Got number love for you. I see you
All
soon.
right,
All right, bro.
y'all.
Stay
All
safe.
right. All right.
Be well.
All right.
Bye.
Love.
Yo,
All right.
All right.